Hello? Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to the start of another week. Tonight, we continue on with the rise and fall of Napoleon. We venture to Italy, yes, as we continue learning about, well, the things and the stuff. Hope you're keeping well. It's been a minute since we've been live, right? Since yesterday. A productive day. Shelves have been hung. The missus is painting right now, would you believe? It'll be the Jesus. Right. So if you hear any, Jesus. Right. That's where she's found my mistakes when it comes to the carpentry. But don't worry. It's all right. I broke a shelf. Well, I didn't break a shelf today. I found a broken shelf in the things of shelves. So I'm able to fix the thing with the yoke. It'll be grand, right? All will be well in the realm. But anyway, I'd like to welcome you all in. Hope you're keeping well. It's a multiplayer flight this evening as we traverse parts of Italy, starting off here in Florence. We do have an introduction. Tonight we follow, of course, Napoleon through the most dangerous turning point of his life, from political exile and near ruin in Paris to sudden redemption down the storm of cannon fire. The revolution has turned inward. Allies become liabilities, careers are destroyed overnight, Napoleon is sidelined, unemployed, and watching his future evaporate until faith, violence, and opportunity all collide. You see, in Paris, a single decision and a thunderous burst of artillery, the Whiff of Grapeshot, catapults him back into relevance. We also meet Joséphine, a survivor of terror whose influence opens doors Napoleon cannot and whose presence reshapes his rise. Then the story surges south into Italy, where a starving, forgotten army, well, it's transformed by speed, audacity and belief. By the end of the night, Europe is beginning to realise it's no longer just a general. It is the birth of something far more dangerous. Yes. And brilliant. So we're going to start off here tonight in Florence, Lima, India, Romeo, Quebec. And from here, beautiful city, we're going to fly north up to Lodi, then into Milan, and then we head on up to Brocco, I think it's called. Lima, India, Mike, bravo. Steady on now, right? This airport we're landing at, LIMB, it was originally built all the way back in 1912. It's one of Italy's oldest airports, and it was designed as a factory airfield for Breda. Later bombed by B-17s in the Second World War, today it's mainly used for general aviation. From there, we're going to head to a place called Mantua, and then finally over to Lima, India, Papa November, Verona. Ah, fair Verona. We're going to be flying in the awesome Inibil's F406 Caravan 2 for this interesting flight. Beautiful scenery, landscapes, and some history along the way. It's going to be grand, isn't it? Built in 1912 by the Irish. Yes. Everything built by the Irish, you see. Like my lovely jumper, built by the Irish. Right, hang on now. We can press a button here, look. Shameless plug. Flightsimtees.com. Lads, you need to be wearing this. Nothing else. You go to work, you go to school, you do your shopping, you do your sleeping, you do the whole shebang wearing this attire. Flightsimtees.com. When you're over there, no doubt you'll find a design that's just tickety-boo. Use the gadget here below at checkout to save yourself 10%. Very well worth it. Beautiful clothing. Sometimes it even talks to you. Well, that's completely not true, but it's a great listener. A great listener, yes. And ramble over and check it out, right? Lovely attire. More lovely. Where's this now? Go My Heartbeat. Wait, what? Now. Oh, you got your heartbeat one. See, brilliant. Wearing nothing but a smile. Yeah, that's the one. They also sell the invisible, transparent attire. They're free. But anyway, who's here tonight? You're all very welcome in. Great to see so many people here. It's great. Remember now, Jesus, Murphy seemed to look like he was in charge, or he was in control, not in charge. Who's in charge? He looked in control. Yes, because this time tomorrow, we're going to be flying over on the MSFS official Twitch channel with some wonderful content creators, and it's going to go terribly bad for me. To be fair, Chewie was kind of, Murph, it's grand. Listen, you'll be all right. Take it slow and steady, because those who are racing might have a series of unfortunate events, and if you keep things nice and handy, you could win. Slow and steady wins it's the taking part that counts. That's our motto tomorrow, lads. So when we're over on the Twitch channel of Microsoft Flight Sim, it's the taking part that counts. I want to see it plastered up and down the walls, riot. And that's what's going to happen. Yeah, it's going to be grand. Bloody hell. They were saying, did you get any practicing in? Oh yeah, loads of but anyway, what's that button? I pressed the wrong button. It's all right. Let's just go with it. Who's here on a Monday? Tarnish Mossman, welcome in. Eamon, 1973. Happy Monday, buddy. Fierce Wolf, looking fierce. And Wolfie, welcome aboard. Vacuum is in the house. Chris Van Halen is here. Retriever Neil, good day to you, sir. Viper Strike is in the house. Spitfire, Oriev, 100. Very good evening to you. Super Typhon, sup? Mac Vision is here. David Bay, good evening. Shovel Shoes, Shovels in. AJH, hope you're well. Fibro, good to see you. QC Frank is here. Florence man, he's going to Florence. Excellent. Mech Manser, good evening. Mrs. TPHI, Upsa Downey person is here. How are we keeping this original every single time? Very good evening to you, Mrs. TPHI. Let me see now. 98 Vulcan, greetings. Hope you're well, buddy. Stick Figure, hello. Hermit Something, good afternoon. From a -5 degrees, chilly Boston. It's 2 degrees in Tipperary. Hot shit. It's cold. Very cold. We don't even say cold, we say cowled. Cowled means it's proper cold. Do you know what I mean? But you're very welcome in, Hermit. Idle cut off. Cambridge calling. Good evening from Tipperary. Crabby One is here. Well, hello. Welcome in. B25 postponed until after the holidays, says Kozaki Flyer. Bijani, Campia, you're very welcome aboard. Sumner is here from a sunny Naples in Florida. That sounds wonderful. It's not sunny here. 7 in a row. Thank you, Tarnish. Moss Man, you're very kind, sir. Flipper Alloy is in the house. Mrs. TPHI, 65 streams. Jesus. You're very welcome in. Ryan is here. Good evening. Does anyone know how Murph gets the GTN 750 to work with the PMDG DC6? Well, yes. You use it as its own kind of on-screen panel thingy. And it should work, you know. But it's the PMS 51. Do you know? Two dogs, a very good evening to you. Hope you're well. Where's me tunage? There we go. That's calmed it down now appropriately. It's very warm in here, is it? Wait now, is this on full tilt or not full tilt? Hang on. If you pull the switch 3 times, an angel gets it. Oh no, she's speeding up there now. Ah, brilliant! The fan, friends, the fan. But anyway, two dogs, good evening. Vacuum is in the house, 3 in a row. What in the devil? APU Inspector's here. Commander Balosh, very good evening. Toto, 24.95. Happy Monday, man. You're looking well. Balbro is here. Good to see you. Just Roy, good evening. Roy, we're flying out to Maastricht tomorrow morning in X-Plane. Yes, looking forward to it. Malky is in the house. Good evening. Filthy is here. Lear. Hello, Lear. Welcome in, man. Adam Controls, 15 in a row. He was average height for the time. Who? Napoleon? Ara? He was, I suppose. DeRuiter, thank you for 3 in a row. Bonsoir, says Sai120. Very good evening, buddy. CP65 is here. Chris Van Halen, good to see you. Willow, how much? Just to let you know, Chewy is streaming in a minute, practicing for tomorrow night. He must feel confident if he's streaming a practice. No, he's smart. He's practicing when I should be. Ah, no! Listen, it'd be grand, right? It's the taking part that counts. That's our new motto. Yep. It's going to be terrible. In a box, man. Good evening. Ranbog Mord is here for 38 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's good to see you, man. How's you cutting? We're flying up your neck of the parish on Thursday. Jesus. Surly Dev is here. Good evening. The little series, indeed. Flyer 10. Yes. Daddy Plump. Hello. Apache's in the house. Guten Abend, mein friend. Who else now? Proby Pete. Good day from Arizona. I'm just checking in. I will watch later offline. Yesterday and today, the temperature... it's in the low 80s. I have to go out and do yard work. Now, when you say the low 80s in Fahrenheit, what's that, like 20 odd degrees? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that now, is there? Chalks is here. Fate, violence, and opportunity are how I tackle an all-you-can-eat buffet. Yes. Good to see you, man. Built in 1912. Absolutely. Kozaki, poor Gibbo. Oh, yeah. Gibbo's like, Allah, no, I'll see you next week. Yes. But yes, you got your heartbeat tee on. Heartbeat tee. Oh, the new t-shirt, yes. Can you get normal-sized hands through the sleeve? Jesus. Flying Dive, good day to you, sir. Hope you're well. Don't mind the rest of the lads. They're confused, you know. Airlock Doc is here. I'm late. Oh, wait. It's a Murph intro. What are you talking about? 2 minutes, 17 seconds every time. Yeah. Test Pilot, thank you very much indeed. 46 months, man. Finest of Monday evenings to you. Yes. Where's this now? Sun Jammer's in the house. Retriever Neil, the tortoise and the hair Murph. Must be the tortoise as he hasn't much hair. This is hard going now, lads. Mr. Tommy is here. He'll brighten up the place. There'll be no slaggins with Mr. Tommy around. No, he's a nice person. Doesn't give me any grief at all. Good evening. Epic Fool is here. I sent you a DM. Do your thing. Oh, Jesus. Signed the petition to reopen Carnmore Airport, Epic Fool. We'll have to have a look at that. Signed the petition, reopen Carnmore. Where was Carnmore Airport? Interesting. Mr. Minimite, good evening. Creo is here. Hello to everyone in the county of Mayo. You're very welcome in. Crafty Tigers is lurking and the working. Ooh. Super Ty says, not as cowled. Minus 20, which might face 3 days before Christmas. Minus 20 degrees. Super Ty, how do you manage? Piku is here. Bio Games, good to see you. Sean Game, 15 months, buddy. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, man. Soaring AJ. AJH. If you've never ever wondered what AJH stands for, Jesus, how are you? AJH, it's a universal thing that we say. It's like hello or goodbye. Hi. You know, AJH. Try it in some countries. They'll look at you like you've done something wrong. But anyway, Krabby1, indeed. Roy says, yes, I forgot it already. The scenery is accepted by the gateway. Ooh, nice. Zybok Doc is here, calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. You're welcome in. Muse fan bursts in the door with his face. He says, how is his man jokes is... Happy Monday, Muse. Hope you're well, buddy. Where are we at now? I'm only here 2 minutes, and Murph has already said it's the taken part that counts 3 times. I'm very confident about tomorrow. Confident that I'll lose. I'll be in last place. Oh, this is criminal. You see, if I set expectations correctly, you won't be shocked. You know, he said, to be fair, he said he was going to be terribly bad. You know, in actual fact, he was shite. But it's okay. I'm telling you now, right? Give me grand. Henry 1707, good day to you. Hope you're well. Let me see. Alni, good evening from Norway. Hello from Tipperary. Good to see you. 2 minutes 17. I have to confirm that with Mrs. Ara Tommy, shag off, will you? Jesus! You're supposed to be nice. It's Galway. Oh, Carnmore. Oh, that yes. Rio. Wish you. They weren't talking about anything. Over promise, under deliver. You can be the first at being third. Yeah. I'm up for the. I could be. Good to see you, says Jez Joe. We're off to Italy. Brilliant. It's going to be loads of fun. Where's this now? We're in terrible trouble already. We haven't even started. Right, now, great support as always from the community.
Sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Great support as always from the community. Never a dull moment here. I love the way everyone just says, Murph, we've got your back. We'll give you the praise and the compliments, that would even make your hair grow back. Right. Great bunch of lads. Uniform Goose is here. Good day, Goose. Hope you're well. Dave Cleary. Legend, Dave. Welcome back, Dave. Mr. TPHI is in the chat. Happy Monday to you, sir. Kubi Montana is here. Angels15. Welcome aboard. The Limbics. Howdy. Ready to have some history. A very good morning, the Limbics. Jesus, good morning. Good to see you, bud. Visualize is here. Welcome in. Black Sheep Gene. Good day from San Jose. He was a poet and he didn't know it. Good to see you, bud. Where are we at now? Samu, good evening. I just bought Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for the PS5. Ooh, nice. Congratulations, bud. Mike Coffey is here, good evening. Corporal Carnage, welcome in. Jace Ward, good evening. Turn your mic on. Your mic is on. Wait, imagine, Where's this now? Alan Leslie, good evening. Hope you're well. Jonathan is in the house. Where are we at now? Mark Gaming, good evening. Mav Wings is here. Zoden, is it? Or is Loden? Good evening from Switzerland. Hello from Tipperary. Good to see you, bud. Where are we at now? Flinicky, good greetings. How's you cutting, lads? Riot. Now, you walked right into that, Murph. I did, to be fair. Let me see. Morning from Gunho Guy. A warm day is coming, he says. Not where we are. Does he know the way to San Jose? Brilliant. Right. Piper has rambled in. A very happy Monday. Now, come in, grab a pint, and sure, let's do one of these. Are we ready? Now, here we are in the beautiful 406 Caravan 2 by Bills. And this aircraft, twin-engined, turboprop, multi-role aircraft, cargo, VIP, Coast Guard, spray for agricultural works. This is a machine, right? And beautiful. And great value as well. If you don't have this aircraft, what's wrong with you? Right? So you need to have a look into this. This is a spectacular machine. El Papino, bonsoir, mon ami. Hope you're well, bud. Purple Kona, 50 months, you mad thing. Thank you very, very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. Hope you're well. Right, so this is our machine tonight, Red Rider. And what we're going to do, we're going to open up Navigraph and show you what it is that we're doing. Is there an Amanda hugging kiss in the chat? We're here down in Florence, Firenze, and we're going to be flying out of Florence up to the northwest as we ramble over the townland of Lido, or Lido, right? And then we get over Milan. We should fly around Milan, and we're going to land up here at Milan Bresso. Lima India Mike Bravo, one of the oldest airports in Italy. From there, we're going to head out to the west and south a little bit, all the way over to Mantua. Mantua, right? And then from Mantua, it's up to the northeast until we go to fair Verona, home of romance and fairy tales, and an airport. What'd you say? Is that where they were from? Juliet's Tower. Was it? Jeez, now Romeo and Juliet were they were flight simmers and they liked Verona because the airport was nice, right?
Well, I bet Romeo would make Juliet paint.
Alright, he would, sure. Didn't she have savage hair altogether? She'd be painting the friggin' spire, sure. Romeo, oh Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? Is that not the one she used the long hair and he climbed? That's Rapunzel, is it? Ah, Jesus! What did Romeo and Juliet ever do? Imposters! How do I bring up Flo's menu since today's update? I said I might need to reset my button, but now how the hell do I do it? Muse, left control, I think. Or the left shift. Oh, he got it. Come on, Muse. Brilliant. Rob is here. Good to see you. Right. Well, my sincere lack of knowledge of Romeo and Juliet. It's fine. It's all fine. Wicked Lumberjacks, good evening. So this is the plan of action. 116 miles plus another 100. Not terribly far. But we're in a beautiful aircraft to do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to get the aircraft up and running. We'll power it up. We'll go flying. We'll crack into our story. And we're going to enjoy some beautiful scenery across Italy. Italy is one of my favourite places in flight simming to go exploring. It's a beautiful country. And of course, well, I love Rome. I absolutely love Rome. So we do fly here quite a bit, or I do fly here quite a bit, do you know? But anyway, let's get ourselves up and running here. So we're going to hit this little button. We have many people. So let me see. Look out behind us here now. Uscally, open the door. Yes. And we need to remove our remove before flight stuff, right? So we have stuff we need to remove. So we'll start at the beginning. Come on over here. Remove the pitot tubes, yes, pitot covers. Remove the engine intake and prop covers. Exhaust covers came off with them. Right side or left side chock away. And we'll have an old run around the back of this aircraft as well. Isn't it an impressive airplane? It's gorgeous. It's a real kind of, rock steady aircraft. It's well able to handle all sorts of stuff. And the Coast Guard, they fly these at only a couple of 100 feet off the ground, which usually would, all sorts of problems with the salt water. The airframe is well able for it, Speaking of salt water, did you see that the Garda Air Support Unit got a new machine? Did you see that? They've replaced the BN Defender, the Defender 4000. And they've gone and got themselves a Twin Otter. No less. A Twin Otter. 7 million quid's worth of stuff. With the sort of technological wizardry that would make Mission Impossible kind of blush. Do you know what I mean? Very fancy stuff. So that's what the Irish have done. But anyway, let us jump in here and get ourselves up and running. Now, we do have a tablet here. This is where we can control things like doors, equipment, all the jazz. We have a map. We have access to our charts. And then we have some options in here connecting SimBrief. What sort of GNS unit do we want to be using? And make sure Navigraph is connected as well. So pretty cool stuff, right? The Twin Otter, pretty much a beefed up Islander. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. 7 million quid Otter. Yeah. Does it have gold teeth? I'm telling you, it's mad clear. Right, let's have a look here. So, engine controls are in the off position. Landing gear handle is in the down position. Flap indicator and handle are in the up position. We'll go ahead and turn on the battery. So battery's coming alive. Make sure all our circuit breakers are in. They're all modelled. We also have some beautiful instrument lighting here as well. We'll go ahead and turn on our nav and anti-collision lights. And engine start switches all down here on the left-hand side. Avionics left can come on. And we continue on here with some stuff. Cowl flaps are in the open position. To push to open, so they're open. pull to close, right? So they're open. Let me see here now. Props are in feather mode, so we're going to go ahead and bring our props full forward. And let me see, over here we have our cabin heat and environmentals, more circuit breakers over on the right hand side, and then well, the rest is going to be a bit of crack as we try and start this machine. So we're going to focus on the left panel. As I can hear, I think that's a Fuga warming up. So we're going to go for our booster pumps in the on position for the right hand side, right? And let me see, auto feather, leave that alone for the moment, but we will have to arm that once we start firing things up. Fuel control heaters, don't need to worry too much about those at the moment. Pitot and static heat will come on afterwards. Ignition right hand side, and then we have a starter on the right hand side. Man, that's a loud friggin' Fuga. Sounds great. Oh, we got a starship in this as well. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to introduce some fuel. We're going to monitor our ITT, internal turbine temperature, and make sure she doesn't, you know, get too hot for a hot start. Once it stabilizes, we monitor our NG. And what we're looking for our NG, we want to make sure that it progresses past, you know, 50%. If it doesn't, it would show a hung start, meaning that, well, the starter won't engage, in which we'd have to kill the fuel and switch it all off again, right? So here we go. We're going to go with the ignition to the right. Everything looks grand there for a clear prop. And we'll go for a start now on the right hand side. Are we ready, sports fans? Alrighty then. RPM be rising, prop is spinning. Let the RPM go as fast as it possibly can, and then we'll introduce some fuel. Fuel in. ITT rising. We'll peak at probably 9 and a bit. We didn't peak at 9 and a bit. It's grand. It peaked at like 1,000. Once it doesn't go above 1,090, let me see. RPM NG is looking good. Starter off. Ignition off. Generator on. And we have a good start on the right side. Dune on Wynyog. And now we repeat the process for the left hand side. So go starter on. Let's see what happens. Flinnicky says since the update 24 has been running a lot smoother. It's so good. So good. The Twalson. Cornwolf, good to see you, bud. Hope you're well. Newfoundland is here. Which twin is hotter? The Twin Otter. Alright, let's just double check this prop speed here. Like 19%, we should be good. Fuel in. ITT rising. Fuel flow is good. NG is rising. ITT is going to peak at around 800. Perfecto. NG is up over 50%. Disengage ignition and starter. And left gen on. Alright, we got a good start in our engines. We should close. Now let's have a look. So we're getting a read on our generators. Battery is looking good. Let me see. Battery only. That's grand. Let's do a quick test on our generators to make sure they're working. If we kill the right gen, the left should take it. Right is dropped, left is up. Now we'll do the left gen off, right is up. And if we drop both, battery's holding. Superb. Alright, come down the road here. Auto feather armed. Avionics number 2 coming on. Anti-ice, don't worry about it. Pitot static heat can come on. Fuel control heaters leave off. Taxi light will be on next. Reco lights can come on. De-icer light, it's like a wing light. It always looks good. What else do we want to do here now? Moving across, we have our cabin heat. Ram air, that's just normal air that comes in at the front of the aircraft. That's all grand. Parking brake is grand. Oxygen connector, where you shouldn't need it. Alright, reset our barrel, reset our directional indicator. Paul, good evening, hope you're well. Alright, so quick check over here. And flight director can be activated. We're going to go ahead and turn on our weather radar. Let there be life. And what else do we have here now? Pump, inertial separators. Leave them on. What else do we want to do here now? We want to go ahead and put some information into our GPS. So let me think if I can do this correctly. If we go into Navigraph charts, and let's see, can we send our flight plan into our avionics, right? This would be just wonderful crack if we could do this. So there's my flight plan. I'm going to click export, load it as an active flight plan into the sim. There's a lot of stuttering. If I look at my map, it didn't like it. Message, back, flight plan, menu, import. This should work. No. Alright, we'll do it manually. LIRQ. Destination is going to be LIPN. LIPN. Our first stop is going to be LIMB. LIMB. And we'll pass Lodi or Lodi on the way. But Mantua is where we need to get to. So let's see if we can type it in. Mantua. TUA. No, so let's find it on the map. Recent nearest user waypoint ident. We'll find it on the map. So we'll go into our map. Easy now, Jemima. Close this shagging thing, it's no use to us. Easy now. Speaker audio 1. Keep it on the mic. Now, before we break anything else, we want to zoom out. And we want to find... Back. We want to find Mantua. Zoom in. In again, in again, in again. Right, we're getting close to it. So Mantua is just north of the river. Menu. Bring these guys back. So there's the river. There's the lake at Mantua. So we're pretty much going to the south of that. Which is just offside. Let's see here now. Is that right? I wonder, can we show place names? It should do. Let's see here now. I heard that there's now problems with Sim Update 4. Yeah, 100%. Old Veteran is here. Scott, welcome in. Hope you're well, bud. Let's have a look here now. I just want to find or plan a custom waypoint. So LIPX, yeah, south. It has to be here, lads. It has to be here. So we're going to use this Mantua where the river goes on. I'm going to say she's here. Create a custom waypoint. User identifier MANTUA or Mantua. Enter. Right. Now we're going to go back and preview it. Grand. Create it. User waypoint Mantua added. Perfect. We'll come back. Map. Sorry. Flight plan. And we'll add a waypoint. MANTU. Duplicates found. We're looking for the orangey one. There we go. That's our one, right? Go back into our map. Let's zoom out and make sure our flight plan matches on this screen what it does on both Navigraph and of course on our Garmin Pilot, which looks correct. Yep, that'll do it. Right, excellent. We've just created a custom waypoint for the aircraft. Excellent news. Let's have a look here. Standby. We shall go to altitude monitor. Leave that alone. Standby function. Flight ID. That's all grand. We'll go back one. Nav. We're going to go to course deviation indicator. We're going to swap it over to GPS. Go back onto our map. Transponder. Altitude reporting is on. And let's continue on with a few more bits before we get going. N1 leave it on. Nav 1, perfect. Flight director we were looking for. Altitude selection. We'll worry about that in a while. And the rest of it, lads, is going to be grand. So, are we ready? We're going to come off the brakes. Park and brake release. Small bit of power. We're rolling. So many awesome planes here, lads. This is gorgeous. We're going to test the brakes, do a little bit of a right, a little bit of a left, and keep it moving. And my right auxiliary pump is still on. There we go. Now, there's a total gridlock here. Let's have a look. Flaps, we'll set flaps for takeoff. And, well, let's see what we need to look at here. So, if we go ahead and bring up Navigraph briefly. So we're going to taxi straight ahead, runway 5. We'll use runway 5 for takeoff, lads. There's no alt pressure. There's no alt pre-selecting the 406. No, there's not. There's an alt hold, though. I think. Yeah, we have an alt hold. And I think there's like an attitude hold as well. We'll figure it out as we go. Exterior lights, bring the rest of these up here now. We're going to say landing light and taxi light are engaged. Everything else is looking good. And oh, look at the amount of planes. This is gorgeous. Florence is so nice. So anyone wondering what time of day I'm using, live weather, time of day 1441. 1441. I've been to the shop, filled the car's diesel tank, met Santa and done a small shop, and Murphy is still on the ground. I do not entertain! Oh wait, Jay's handy. He's now. Right, lads. Oh, there's a starship. When yous are ready, let's do the thing with the yoke with the thing. Model matching is hilarious. Yep. They've shagged model matching. Like they've properly shagged it. You know. There's been an update to Flow overnight. Yeah, I haven't grabbed it just yet. Right, lads, come on, you up the hill. Up, you divil you. So many nice airplanes. Good to see you, Big Al. Right, there's no kind of polite way to do this other than let's just, you know, mush. Power coming in. Watch the torque. Alright. Look at that airspeed, man. This thing is an absolute machine. Yepsy daisy. Positive rate of climb. And we're indicating. Gear coming in. Speed 130. Keep this attitude for the moment. 2,000 feet a minute climb out. Not a bother at all to the 406. Look at that, man. Look at the view. Over 300 feet. Flaps coming in. Yaw dampener engage. Little bit stuttery. I'm appearing as a Fuga, really? Lear says, I only found this channel a couple of months ago, but I must say, the variety of the content, the news, and the stories are something else. I literally leave each stream feeling like I've learned something, such as having sausage fingers is no compromise for small hands. What a show, what a guy, keep it real. One knot at a time. But thank you very much indeed, Lear. Absolute legend he is. Right, we're going to circle around because I want to fly over Florence because it's freaking gorgeous. You ever see Florence? Oh, heck yeah. Look at the state. Right, easy now. Let's configure the out aircraft with a bit of trimmage. Jeez, do you hear the sound stutters? Microsoft, it's Murph. You have an issue with the thing with the yoke? Alright, trim ourselves out of this mess. There we go. Bit of flow proage. Yes, the Ranbog moored wheel. Oh jeez, then we're looking fantastic. Right, lads. If you're on the Xbox, press 1. PC Pilots, press 2. If you're here enjoying... Oh wait, hang on. Xbox One, PC 2, Join FS or Skynet, it's 3. I nearly forgot what I was going to say. And if you're enjoying the view, that's the one, you press number 4. Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream Monday to Friday, 2000 suited time, right here. Oh, Jesus. JoinFS. Oh no, I'm not. Oh Jesus. Uh-oh. What's wrong with JoinFS? Is it shanked? Don't panic. Man, look at that scenery. The stutters are real. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't even know the name of that cathedral. It's very fancy and real. Right, let's have a look at now at actually what's going on here in my life. Network. I can't connect to JoinFS. That's going to be a problem. Does that mean my server's offline? Balls and balls to it. Come on over there. Connect. Connecting to your remote server. Bishop Brendan Cathedral. Duomo. That's the one. 19 on the PC, 4 on console, 3 on JoinFS. Nice. Yes, I can't seem to get into my server. Hang on, we'll have a look. Oh, the stutters are absolutely savage, aren't they? Right, bit of altitude. We'll climb a little bit. Mrs. TPHI is still on the ramp. Santa Maria del Fiore. That sounds better. Easy now. Stutters are real, lads. Right, let's see if the server boots up. I saw you saying in the Bremen bar which plane you'd be flying. I only read caravan parts, so it totally didn't show up in the Cessna 208. Ah, Jesus. Jesus. It's alright. By the time I get there, Muse, it'll be absolutely fine. I just want to see what's going on with all these stutters. It's quite heavy, isn't it? Come on, Sim, you can do it. Jesus. Stuck on the ground with WASM crashes in the Duke. I don't believe you, Mr. Minimite. Really? We're getting serious stutterage here.
I need your small hands to close the paint.
I beg your pardon?
I need your small hands to close the paint.
She needs me small hands to close. Well, you're a barrel of laughs.
No.
Oh, what if I get paint on me hands? Wait a second. Where is it? I'm so strong. Who's the smart gobshite now pressing buttons? You think you're fucking hilarious, don't you? The It's alright. Now, how we get not... My server won't launch, that means I've no JoinFS. Well, the curse of the 7 snotty... Your remote session did not launch. I can see that stupid thing. Right. Well, lads, for anyone on JoinFS, that's it. That's the... I'm on mute. Noise. Right. Oh, Jesus. Where is this now? It's alright, it's alright. Having quite a lot of stutters here as well. Very odd. Very, very odd. Right, let's see what we can do here. Let's tidy up the owl setup here. Jesus. Right, let's go heading, right? And tidy this mess up. So we're going to say heading mode. Heading. Really? Okay. Easy now. Autopilot? Uh-oh. Have I forgot a button? Let's double check. Avionics are on. Stall vane, needs to turn that one on. Oh, we're good here. Okay, why isn't the autopilot wanting to play? Define yeah, no, I haven't gone near me NVIDIA driver. This is not an NVIDIA issue that I have. Will I be flying the Blackbird from Blackbird? I'd be waiting, yeah. When does it get out? It's out Thursday or something, is it? Avionic AC above avionic switches. Aha! Thank you very much indeed, Ryan. You absolute ledge. Man alive, the stutters. Right, flight director. Isn't doing that in heading mode. Engaged. Yeah, right. Let's get ourselves onto an intercept. There's altitude hold. So we... Let's see here now. Turn that gadget off. And let's get our trim nose up. Easy now. Trim nose up. And let's go autopilot on. Right? Let's go heading. And we'll try and intercept our heading, where we're heading. So many good planes release. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's out on the 18th of December. Alright, that's Tuesday, Wednesday, that's Thursday. Alright, okay. Yeah, I saw the post from Brian saying that the NVIDIA update was causing issues all over the place. It was the same for X-Plane as well. And good old NVIDIA. You know, right in time for Christmas. This is how you break everything, lads. Yeah, brilliant. Do you know? But anyway, we shan't worry too much. Those stutters are slowly but surely starting to figure out life. I need to get into my server. This is oddness. Every now and again it does this. Securing your remote connection. Now what I could do, I could just restart the server and then try it again. Because it doesn't want to load. Right. Let's have a look. Server status is online. It is not online. Application will be performed. Right, we're restarting that. Bet Milan will be a stutter hog. I hope not. I hope not. Right, we're going to be climbing here a little bit. We're going to jump on over then to nav mode once we intercept it. Watch your speed here as we're climbing. We can arm nav. And she should engage. And we'll ease... Easy. We'll ease back in our speed here now in a moment. We just want to get a decent bit of altitude clearance as we cross over some of these beautiful mountains. Man alive, look at the views! This is stunning. Look at that, lads. Stunning. Alright, so we're heading back in the general direction of where it is we're supposed to be going. So, while we're here, friends, into our notes, and we shall start. The smoke had barely cleared from the burning harbour of Toulon, where we were last week, when Napoleon Bonaparte found himself catapulted into the inner sanctums of the Republic's power structure. Promoted to Brigadier General at just 24, the Corsican was a genuine military prodigy. His victory had saved the Mediterranean fleet and restored national pride, but in the madness of 1794, military talent was merely a commodity to be bought and sold by the political machine. And what a machine it was. The entire French government was being run by a terrifying committee obsessed with purity. It was called the Committee of Public Safety. And its chief, executioner Maximilien Robespierre, had a younger brother, Augustin, who was a political commissioner for the army of Italy. Napoleon and Augustine became friends, bonded by radical revolutionary passion. The association was the greatest promotion of Napoleon's life, and very nearly his last. For 6 months, Napoleon was busy planning military operations, designing coastal defences along the Mediterranean, a vital yet, well, administratively exile role. He seemed untouchable, protected by the terror's most dedicated architect, but on July 27th, 1794, the axe fell in Paris. Robespierre was overthrown and guillotined. This event, the Thermidorian reaction, didn't just end the terror, it vaporized every official associated with the man who had run it. Now, alt mode here, Betsy. Lock her in there now, good and tired. Easy. Suddenly, having the most powerful political patron in France was like wearing a "please execute me" sign. Napoleon was immediately arrested. He spent 10 agonizing days imprisoned, facing the firing squad or the guillotine simply because of his association with Augustin Robespierre. He was eventually released, not because of innocence, but because his talent was too valuable to waste. However, he was stripped of his active rank, and he spent the next year in the miserable purgatory of being a political pariah. The following year in Paris was perhaps the hardest trial of Napoleon's life. Stripped of command, his pay sporadic, he lived in near poverty, shuffling through the dreary streets of the capital. He haunted the corridors of power, begging for a command, sinking deeper into obscurity. At one point, frustration was so complete, he even considered joining the Ottoman army. Or, God forbid, go to India and fight with the British. He was offered a desk job commanding an infantry brigade in the Vendée, a grinding, hopeless civil war. Napoleon refused it. He would command artillery in a battle that mattered, or nothing at all. He resigned, selling his books just to eat. He was nearly broken until the Parisian mob forced his hand. Ah yes, the Parisian mob. In October 1795, the Royalists decided the time is right to overthrow the new government, the Directory, and 30,000 angry armed citizens marched to the palace. The Directory panicked. They needed a ruthless professional military man, and they needed him now. They called for Paul Barras, the supreme political fixer, who promptly remembered the little Corsican gunner from Toulon. Napoleon was given command of the government's defences at 4 a.m. He famously ordered Murat to secure 40 cannons from a depot outside of the city. He then positioned the guns to sweep the narrow Parisian streets with deadly grapeshot. When the Royalists advanced, Napoleon didn't fire a warning shot. He simply ordered the artillery to open fire. The whiff of grapeshot, as he later called it, was short, brutal, and effective. He literally blasted the mob off the streets, and the Republic was saved. Now, we need to consider Napoleon. He witnessed the king being overthrown. He was disgusted by it. He even, had a go at the king, saying, why didn't the king just wipe out all of these people causing revolution? Why didn't he just kill them? He was disgusted that this didn't happen. So now Napoleon is in a position. He's being charged with defending the government. And what does he do? He brings artillery cannons onto the streets. There's no warning shots. There's nothing. It's like, no, take them out. Like, so clinical, so brutal. That's Napoleon. He didn't beat around the bush. I mean, he just went straight for the jugular. Every time he went straight for the jugular. The mobs, there was deaths. Hundreds of people died and injured. But the rebellion fell apart instantly. It was enough. The Republic indeed was saved. The reward for saving the government was immediate and substantial. Napoleon instantly promoted to commander of the Army of the Interior, Barras, the powerful director, immediately championed his next move, the command of the Army of Italy. Mere weeks after he was introduced to Joséphine, or Joséphine. This quick elevation fueled cynicism in the officer corps. Critics whispered that Napoleon won his reputation in a street riot, his command in a marriage bed, linking his commission directly to Joséphine, who was an ex-mistress of Barras. He was pretty much fed up with her. He didn't want any more to do with her. So he saw Napoleon being the quiet Corsican, that little bit awkward, in general. He said, here's a great idea. I know someone. And listen, this will look the part. You need yourself a woman. A woman. And that's pretty much what he needed. And that's what was arranged. Barras arranged the introduction of Joséphine and Napoleon. Right? So there was all rumours all over the shop. Napoleon restored simply that he wins nothing but battles, and Joséphine wins all hearts by her goodness. Watching him work, reportedly remarked, "I don't know why, but the little bastard scares me." That's what she said, right? Now, who was Joséphine? Right, Joséphine de Beauharnais. Terrible pronunciation, right? Effectively, we'll go back in time. So Joséphine, she came from nobility. She came from the aristocracy. Her family had land in the Caribbean, right, in some of the French colonies. Her teeth had been blackened by eating sugar canes as a child. And of course, her smile was... right? She learned how to smile with her mouth closed. Terribly ladylike. And for portraits and all the jazz, well, that's what it was all about. So Napoleon didn't, marry a princess. She was a survivor. Marie-Joseph Rose Tachler de la Pagière, known as Joséphine, which was born in 1763 on a struggling sugar plantation in Martinique, a colonial backwater. Her family sent her to France as a teenager, not for love, but for salvation. A good marriage was the only way out, and she married Alexander de Beauharnais, an aristocratic officer, a union that was emotionally barren. They separated but legally remained husband and wife. Then came the Terror. Alexander was arrested, tried and guillotined in 1794. Joséphine was imprisoned next at the Carme prison, expecting execution daily. She was only released because of Robespierre fell days before her name reached the blade. This experience matters enormously. Joséphine did not romanticize power. She understood viscerally, and history kills the unprepared. By the time she met Napoleon in late 1795, she was a widow of the Terror, socially connected but financially fragile, emotionally cautious, not idealistic, fluent in salons, influence, and quiet negotiation. She was intense, awkward, brilliant, and emotionally exposed. He was intense, awkward, brilliant, and emotionally exposed. She was polished, skeptical, and adaptive. She wasn't dazzled by Napoleon's intensity. She recognized it and weighed it. Their marriage on March the 9th, 1796, wasn't a romantic fantasy. It was a convergence of needs. Napoleon gained the social legitimacy, what he needed, access, and the polish. Joséphine gained protection, stability, and of course a rising star. Through Joséphine, Napoleon became acceptable to Paris. She was the bridge he could never have built by himself. Ooh. Now, where are we at? We're over here. Just days after the wedding, but she was older. Joséphine was older than Napoleon. She was 8 years or something. And I think on their birth, or on their marriage cert, they both said they were 28, just so people wouldn't be like, what are you doing there, old Napoleon, right? So they kind of balanced all that together. That's what they did, right? That's what they did. How are we looking at? Oh, Jesus, look at this, lads. Look at the scenery we have. We're on the way to Lodi, by the way. So the marriage wasn't a romantic one at all. Just days after the wedding, he got his real reward. Command of the impoverished, starving, and demoralised army of Italy. The Italian front had been a 2-year stalemate and was considered a minor theatre compared to the critical Rhine front. The Directory didn't expect him to win, they just wanted him to distract the Austrians and use his army to pillage some gold and supplies for Paris. He surveyed his troops, who looked more like beggars than soldiers, and issued one of the most famous proclamations in military history. This is what Napoleon said. Soldiers, you are ill-fed and almost naked. The government owes you much, but can give you nothing. I will lead you into the most fertile plains in the world. Rich provinces, great cities will be in your power. There you will find honour, glory, and wealth. Soldiers of Italy, do you lack courage? Now, every time a new general comes in, they have to rally their troops. They've heard it all before. But with Napoleon, it was indeed different. They didn't lack any courage. They only lacked a commander who believed in them and who understood that speed, momentum, would be their greatest weapon. Now, to understand and to appreciate what Napoleon has just done here, he's gone from, the hero of Toulon to being back in Paris, and the next thing, the arse falls out of it because there's more political upheaval. The royalists, they want kings back in charge. They try to have a revolution. Doesn't work. Napoleon was dragged out of poverty. He went to jail because they killed Robespierre. All of a sudden, he's the man to get rid of this little upstart little faction, which he does. He's rewarded greatly. He becomes the, favour of Barras, who then introduces him to Joséphine, almost as if Napoleon was doing him a favour of taking this owl mistress off his hands. He does all of these things. He falls head over heels of Joséphine, and we'll learn more and more about that later on in our story, because with Napoleon, he's perceived as a terrible romantic and a bit of an idiot, God love him, when it comes to writing things. With such things, he had said, imagine saying this, I want you to come and visit me, dear. It is a 7-week donkey ride to get from your location to my location, and you are not to wash, because I want your scent to be powerful when you get... Could you imagine saying that now? Sit over there, the bang of donkey off you. You couldn't do that now. But Napoleon wrote all of these things. It was like, huh? Right, this is the crack that went on. Could you imagine? Doorport, right? A doorport, yes. Do not wash, I want your scent all over me. Get out of it, will you, and shower. But anyway, from all of that, with Napoleon and now Joséphine, we're back into the military side. And as this story, over and over again, from the rise and fall of Napoleon, he is a soldier. No matter what, doesn't matter what else he is. He's a politician. He's all of these things. He's still a soldier. He's a sort of person that revels in the idea of warfare. And of course, you have to understand why. He wins a lot. He's very good at it. From the early days back in Brienne in the school, right, in the snow, building the snow fort, all the way up to his first major conflict in Toulon. Napoleon's good at, general mayhem and causing messing in a war, right? And he's good at it. Now we see him taking command. But it's not like, here's the French Imperial Army. No, here's the Italians. They're a little bit kind of jaded now, but sure, listen, just cause a bit of crack with the Austrians. And you might say, the Austrians, well, to appreciate what Napoleon achieved, one must understand the war he inherited. The French public was not fighting a single enemy. It was fighting an outraged continent. This was the War of the First Coalition that ran from 1792 to 1797. It was a massive alliance of monarchies, kingdoms, who were terrified of the revolutionary virus that was spreading from Paris. France was fighting Europe's heavyweights, Austria the primary foe in Italy and Germany, Great Britain providing the vast majority of the financing, the Holy Roman Empire, Spain and Sardinia. The fighting was geographically huge, from the North Sea all the way to the Alps, and the warfare they employed was methodical, cautious style of the 18th century, the cabinet wars. Armies moved in massive, expansive columns, relying on vast supply lines. Battles were often slow, set-piece affairs designed to capture forts or control strategic roads. The primary goal was preservation. You defeat the other country's army, and that's it then. You know, you don't go in and conquer. You just knock their army out, and then you bring them up to the table and say, right, I've won that fight. I want this amount of money. You're not to go over that bridge again, and be a good fella now, will you? Kinda, right? Anyway. The primary goal was, when a defeat occurred, the standard procedure was a disciplined, slow withdrawal, regrouping, a quick entry into diplomacy, armistices and peace treaties, meant exchanging territories or indemnities, pretty much money, and a promise to be a good boy. Don't do it again. Yes, the old military code aimed to avoid risking the whole army, and Napoleon was about to chuck the whole slow, predictable system. Oh my God, we got a CTD with Sim Update 4. What? Lads, what is going on? A CTD, you say? Hang on. The Sim has been running terribly bad. Event viewer. When was the last time we had one of these? Let me highlight this so I can go back to it. Let's see here now, right?
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Event viewer. What happened here, boys? When was the last time we had this sort of a crack? Event viewer, yes. Get in there now, we find out what happened. Error. Application error. Hello there. Abdul, good to see you.
Have you been drinking?
I have, Ted. I've been drinking like a mad idiot.
Fault. Microsoft Flight Sim. Oh, look, an out of memory error. For crying out loud. Oh. That's the first CTD I've had. Jesus, that's in a long time, you know? You've too many extra programs splicing themselves into the sim. No, I don't. Memory leakage. Yeah, it's just a sim. What's CTD mean? Crash to desktop. Crash to desktop. There we have it, lads. That's the first crash with Sim Update 4. Interesting. And all it says is it ran out of memory.
Can I get a refund?
No, there's no refunds. Shut up. Right, we'll give it a second to reboot here. Jesus. Take a second and look at my last comment. Gene. Murph, you did it to me again. You said, would you look at the scenery? I did, and nearly customized the car in front of me. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, memory is fierce cheap. The sim is eating VRAM. Wonder if it's to do with the Navigraph charts on the tablet or the sim itself. First flight I've used it, and the first Stutterfest that you've had. Ooh, interesting. VRAM. That's interesting. Yeah, it could be Rambog. Could be. Especially those new European charts. The VF4 ones. Could be. You've had 2 CTDs since the update, says Jace. No way, man. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, let it load up and see what happens again. Where were we when we last stopped? Jesus, we weren't too far from Lodi. Oh, no, I can see where we are. All right, it's okay. It's okay. You're sitting at 20 gigs out of 24. Ooh. Well, yeah, it is high. Well, it'll always use it. I'm at 5 gig normal RAM usage, 8 gig video RAM. Way less than before. I wonder, yeah, there's something causing it, you know. Sourdough Man, good to see you, bud. Yeah, we're just here after having a crash to desktop, which hasn't happened in a very long time. But we'll let it load up and see what happens. Simon20 says, my exe MX or XML file corrupted itself. Uh-oh. Well, that's never good. Jesus. Then again, I'm flying far away from the group right now. Yeah, I have no idea what it was. Everything maxed out on the 4060, 43 FPS, Sim Update 4 not bad. Yeah, no, I gotta say, it hasn't been bad for me either. Like, that's the first time I've gotten it. Like, that's an out of memory crash. So that's something in the sim calling for something that just isn't there, you know? My opinion on today from yesterday, the sim is running like a steaming pile of stuff, says Visualize. Have you updated GPUs or any of that crack, Visualize? There's something not running terribly, terribly well. But sure, we'll figure it out. It could be anything. It could be anything. This is taking a moment, isn't it? Loading packages. Come on, sim. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I couldn't get into my server either. It's the night of the living terrors, isn't it? She's connected now, look. Remote desktop connection. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. There's life in this. Let's see, friends. Why is it like the resolution so bad? Why did you shut down your server? Because it wouldn't work. Cancel that. Close that. Up there now. Let's see here now. Join FS. Yes. Start that. And then I need to start all my bots. Yes. Start a server. Yes. Sim got a whiff of Napoleon's wife. No matter what, it still loads very fast in 2020. Yeah, it does. All right, let's see now. We get all these little gadgets up and running. You start the bots, please. Thank you. Start the other bots, please. Right, we should be running now. Might have been a driver issue somewhere. Reinstalled and updated NVIDIA. Now at the start screen, it just blacks out and sound stutters. One Foxy Bingo Gav. Advice everywhere seems to be roll back from the latest NVIDIA update. It's causing issues. I'm on the latest NVIDIA driver, but it's been since release. I'm not sure what's going on. Checking out numbers now. Yeah, no, there was I've only had CTDs with Sim Update 4, never happened in Sim Update 3. I've been troubleshooting the whole week, says Sky Vagrant. It's got to be, well, I say it's got to be. Is there something in your community folder? Do you know? It could be that. It could be that, right? Let's see what happens here now. We'll get ourselves reloaded. It's taking a minute, this one, isn't it? Jesus. 4070 Ti, 8.4 out of 12 gigs with the latest NVIDIA. Did not change anything, just default. No issues as of yet. Interesting. Yeah, Defiant Prawn. Yeah, I read that from Say Intentions as well. 100%. All right, we're back in. Let's see how we fix this mess now. So we need to start. Well, I'll find the group. It's not the handiest. Let me see here. Sure, if we pop ourselves in this way. Eesh. Says departure. Flight conditions. Custom. All players. We're around 1:30-ish. Let's load in. We're airborne at 5,000 feet. Let's see what happens. Mine's butter smooth now with the new drivers as tarnish. Interesting. Well, I think the driver will depend on a couple of things. Oh, Jesus, look at the weather. The driver will depend on the hardware, you know. Yeah, the latest driver and the sim update are not working well together. They said revert back. Yeah. Alrighty then. They still didn't fix this problem with the frame rate multiplier. Or multiplier. Right. We're very close to Lodi. Easy now. The new XB1 is causing issues. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go back onto our autopilot. And we're going to stick the Divalog to heading mode. Come on, Sim, you can do it. Man, the stutters are real. Heading? Why isn't heading working? Come on, plane, you can do it. How was the weather so bad? Okay, why don't I have heading working? Easy now. Autopilot, heading. I can't select heading. Now we were heading back. I must have hit a switch. That's how the weather was for me as well. A few clouds in the wind. Most unusual. Alright. We'll get ourselves back into action here, lads. There's the gang, we found you. Alright. Yeah, no, we're okay now. Do you know what I did? I hit the roll switch by accident. But we're okay now. All is well in the realm. And we'll start positioning ourselves back up to Lodi and then Milan. That's where we're heading for the moment, right? Right, we're all good again. All is well in the realm. Hopefully there's no more CTDs that'll cause terrible upset. But anyway, yes, the whole idea was treaties and money. The old military code aimed to avoid risking the whole army, but Napoleon was about to chuck the whole slow, predictable system into the trash. So, to understand Napoleon's campaign, his Italian campaign, we have to understand how little anyone expected from it, right? Get our heading back. In 1796, France was fighting on multiple fronts. Italy viewed as a secondary distraction, and the army of Italy poorly supplied, chronically unpaid, undermanned, and politically neglected. It existed largely to pin down the Austrian forces, not to win decisively. This is precisely why Napoleon got the command, not because the Directory believed in him, but because if Italy failed, it was convenient. Napoleon understood this immediately, which made it all perfect. The Austrians and their allies were expecting the slow, predictable warfare of the 18th century. What they got in April 1796 was a Corsican whirlwind. Napoleon had 38,000 men, facing combined forces of nearly double that size. He did away with the reliance on long supply lines, instructing his ill-equipped army to live off the land. Continuous foraging. Now, again, we learned that, well, we know Napoleon was big into Julius Caesar and reading on Alexander the Great. And these are all tactics, of course, that would have been employed, centuries before this time. Napoleon drove his troops relentlessly, splitting the enemy's slow-moving armies with surgical speed. And it wasn't just marching. This was the birth of modern warfare. He used the French Alps and the Ligurian terrain not just as barriers, but as shortcuts, focusing on dividing enemy forces before they could concentrate. Instead of we can't terribly march around that big, or, we can't march over that big mountain, not at all. We'd have to go around it. Napoleon's like, no, you're going to go over it, Speed as a weapon. European armies moved slowly. It's just the way they were at the time. Napoleon moved relentlessly. He marched his troops faster than the doctrine even allowed for, and faster than his enemies believed were possible. He attacked before coalitions could coordinate. He forced decisions before councils could argue, and it became a campaign of continuous shock. Napoleon broke the army into self-sufficient divisions, each able to fight, march and manoeuvre independently, then recombine at decisive moments. It allowed him to concentrate force suddenly, split enemy armies, and then exploit gaps instantly. And of course, he never forgot Toulon. Artillery wasn't a support weapon, it was the weapon. He used guns to break formations, dominate terrain, shape enemy movement, and collapse the enemy's morale. He placed artillery where it mattered, not where it was convenience. In just 2 weeks, the victories came in a rapid chain. Montenotti on the 12th of April, Milesimo on April 13th, and Mondovi on April 21st. The King of Sardinia was stunned, forced to sue for peace in the armistice of Cherasco on the 28th of April, abandoning the coalition. They knocked Sardinia out. One opponent neutralised, the way to the Po River and the heart of northern Italy was open. Napoleon, now funding the Directory's starving army with gold, silver and supplies extracted from the conquered Italian states. And Italy at this time, well, it wasn't known as Italy, it was still the Italian states. Italy was only unified a few years later, I believe, so it wasn't like the Kingdom of Italy, right? It was a whole load of different kingdoms. The only thing standing between Napoleon and the wealthy capital of Milan was the River Adda and the formidable Austrian rear guard defending the narrow 200-yard bridge of Lodi, that we are literally just after passing. Ah no, buttons! There be the river back there. Stupid CTD! Where Belut is, that's where the Lodi River was, right? Although, we're very close to here now as well. It's over there! Hang on. Don't mind me, we're just doing a thing. Don't mind me now at all, lads, at all, at all. Right here is the River Lodi. Right here. Right? So that's where we are right now. So this little area here, right? So you had a formidable Austrian army rear guard defending the narrow bridge. And on the morning of May the 10th, 1796, the Austrians were dug in on the opposite bank with infantry and cannon all trained on the bridge. Pouring grapeshot down its length, crossing it was, tactically speaking, a terrible idea. But Napoleon, possessing what his men viewed as superhuman qualities, employed calculated audacity. He ordered a massive artillery bombardment to suppress the Austrian guns, while simultaneously sending cavalry units to ford the river upstream, threatening the Austrian flank. Then, and only then, did he order the frontal assault. He was in the thick of the fighting himself, loading cannon alongside his men. Facing volley after volley of musket fire, 1,000 Frenchmen would die, but sheer resolution and weight of numbers saw them across. It was here, the crossing of that bridge, that the soldiers gave Napoleon his lifelong nickname, the Little Corporal. The Battle of Lodi was not decisive strategically. The Austrians withdrew in good order. However, psychologically, this changed everything. Napoleon crossed the bridge under fire, visibly, deliberately. He was able to galvanise his conscript soldiers by making them believe he was like them. He even rode up to pin his own Legion of Honour medal on brave men, cementing his legend as a leader. And Napoleon later mused, "It was at Lodi I first realised I was destined for great things. I no longer regard myself as a simple general, but as a man called upon to decide the fate of peoples." That's what Napoleon said, right? The mad devil. So we're about to fly into Milan, and then we'll continue on. Hopefully I haven't bored the absolute bejesus out of you so far, lads. It's interesting stuff though, isn't it? Stuck in Lodi again, right? Gibbo's fast asleep. He did it all in his Skoda. Oh, Jesus. 2020 CTD. No way. This is just a default weather preset at the moment because we can't see shag all, right? But we're going to fly in and around Milan here. So we'll let this all start doing its thing. And yes, I think we'll do one of these and ease our way into some nice kind of scenery and stuff, you know, with things and have I a button for this? I'm getting those sounds back again. This isn't going to be good, is it? My coffee, take it fierce handy. Oh yeah, hello Milan. Speed good. Now, speaking of join the fest, I'm going to get onto it now. Uno momento, my friends. Tunage! Wait for it. Huzzah, we have a green light. It's all working again. Did you see it? Things are back working as we fly into Milan. Man, the stutters tonight are absolutely criminal, aren't they? Jesus. Speaking of which, what is my VRAM usage? Let us have a look. Performance. GPU. We're using 19.7 out of 31 gigs, so we're not bad. GPU memory, 20 out of 80. So, like, system-wise, we're actually going okay. CPU is at 30, GPU at 47, right? Newfoundland has no stutters. Nice. This is the start of the most elaborate excuse for coming last at the Red Bull Air Races the world has ever seen. You better believe it. Right, there's our runway. We're going to spin around to that now in a moment. As we overfly Milan here. Anyone ever been to Milan? Man, the stutters are real tonight. Jesus. I think what's needed, lads, is going to be a sim reinstallation. I'm just saying, it's going to be needed. Does being at the airport count? Yes, it does, Rambog. For you, of course. I've been to Milan. I travelled 186 feet of it, and then straight out again. Jeez, the photogrammetry is nice here, isn't it? Trying to find out about the flooding in Seattle. Oh no! There's flooding in Seattle? You'd hit that smoke tower if you're on your current path. Yes. Wizard's Castle, are you reading all of this to the Vatsim Tower? Yes, yes, he likes it. Timothy, we're on the Southeast Asian server, buddy. Right. Autopilot off. Lights are on. Let's see, can we bring this in for a gentle landing? We hope. Hold the nose. Keep it coming. And let's see if we can get ourselves lined up with this runway. Oh man, the starters. Shag off, starters, will you? Right. Easy now, Murphy, you big idiot. Where's everyone? Oh, they're over there, look. Right, easy now. Easy. Oh, speed, man, speed. Let the speed back up. Easy. I'm landing the wrong way. Am I? I have to go in from the north. I'll go in from the north, so Muse. Thanks, Muse. Yeah, there's a lot of photogrammetry here, yeah. There's flooding all over southern British Columbia as well. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, the Seattle area has had some real bad flooding. Jesus, lads. Well, I hope they're all alright. Alright, let's have a look. There's the airport. Watch me speed, 160. Easy now, Jemima. Easy now. It's terribly pretty here, isn't it? Look at that. It's a 2-knot tailwind. Oh, Jesus. This week isn't as bad as last week still, though. Alright, there's everyone over there. It's one of the oldest airports in Italy, built in 1912. And it was used as a factory airfield. 1912, though. That's mad, isn't it? Alright, let's drop the gear. Oh, look at the Stadia. This is a gorgeous plane, man. Gorgeous plane. Inibills did a great job with this. It's such a nice plane. It's big as well, isn't it? Like, she's a big machine. Oh, these starters are going to be an absolute pain, man. Easy now. Got ourselves turned. There's a runway over there. Jeez, Milan is massive, isn't it? There's Rex. There's a Joséphine at the end of the runway. Can you remove the belly on the caravan? Yes. Yes, you can. Alright, turn her in. Let's see what we can do here. I always find the nose is quite high on this for landing. It's just something you need to get used to. I said it to Inibills, they're like, no, Murph, we spoke to the pilots, that's how she is. Get over yourself. Okay. Right, easy now. You see, the speed drops off it so fast. It does make this a real challenge on landing. So you want to keep your speed right up there until, like, you know, flare. Right, a little bit high, a little bit fast. We're looking better. Easy. Go away, starters. We don't want starters. Do you know, Sim Update 3 was running smoother than Sim Update 4 for me? What are the odds on that? Last night and tonight have just been starterfests. I'll go off and fix things now. You know, after I do the Red Bull air races. On a technicality, that's why it was so bad. Right, power to idle. Hold the nose. Oh, there's a stutter. Easy. Oh, Jesus. 611 feet. Stupid stutters. Stupid things. Into beta. Yikes. Yikes. Out of beta. Bit of manual braking. Flaps coming in. And we'll taxi around and get ourselves out of here. Okay, first stop of the night. We're going to head out now to Mantua. And then a full stop in Verona. Nice. That wasn't an average Murphy landing. 600 feet, you mad? I usually land at 11 feet. Yeah, 11. I wonder, do I need to go... Hang on a second. The starters here are absolutely shite. Hang on a second. Will this make a difference? Let's go simplified, lads, just on the model matching. Just let's give it a moment and see what happens. Let's see if that fixes anything. Sorry, I'm literally flying through everyone. Let's see what happens. If this fixes things, we're laughing. It doesn't seem to have changed any of the model matching whatsoever. But there doesn't seem to be as much stuttering. Yeah, like we're struggling to get our normal FPS here. Oh, a full sim reinstall. Jesus. This is going to be great fun. Hey, Quack is here. Good to see you. To be fair, I'm thinking of doing my yearly PC reinstall. Uh-oh. Alright, easy now. Why is it that I'm going the wrong way and everyone else is... Muse, are you sure about this runway? I have to say the stuttering has calmed down, lads. You see that? Back up to 120 FPS. Very interesting. Muse is sure. Alright. That's back taxi. Although you're not on live weather. Oh, that's very true. Very true. What is live weather like? Is it still crap? Alright, sports fans. We'll get ourselves set up now once again, and we shall continue on with our little story. A wee bit hazy but sunny. On live weather, yay? Live weather it is. Is that the same live weather, Muse, that you have? Marcel, good to see you, buddy. Do I use DLSS or TAA? I think DLSS. What time of day have you got, Muse? I'm on 1504. It does look very pretty though, doesn't it? Let's have a look. You're about that time as well? Alright, I'll drop it back to about half two-ish. There we go. Right, power coming in. Let's go flying. Watch the torque. There we go. Man, what a machine! Look at that airspeed. This thing is a freaking rocket ship. Look. Come on, baby. Yup, the devil, you. Yup, the devil. Here up. Flaps in. And Muse got a CTD. Ah, Jesus. When was the last time you had one of those? Autopilot. Heading. Alt. Let's hold 1,000 feet for the moment. Although we don't want alt, do we? No, get rid of alt. Up the hill, please. Up the hill. There she goes. Up. Up. Miss GBHI had one as well. CTDs are happening, lads. Oh, look at the views. That haze just made it. Wait now. What sort of... Oh, it's a banana. What machine is that? It's grey skies, but what's the... That's an interesting machine. Stores were brutal, yeah. T-34. It's very pretty. Right, we're using these simplified stream stuff thingies, so yeah, let's see what happens. Alright, climbing nicely here. We don't need a lot of altitude, to be honest. 2.5 will do it, lads. Or will it? Yeah, no, it will. So let's see. Keeping this heading, we're going to start rolling gently left. And we're heading out towards Mantua. Ease off the power. Easy now. Easy now. Lots of fog, yeah. T-34. Avionics are shined. Oh, Kozaki, I don't believe you. Oh, look at the view out there. Jesus, look at that. Man alive, look at that. And that is pretty. And with that lighting? That's gorgeous. So many people. Right. I said 2.5 for sure. Listen, we'll go a little bit higher for the cracks though. Let's call it 4 and lock it in at 4,000. 100 feet to go. And solid lock on prime. No viable T-34 in the sim yet. Yeah. It's using their default stuff. Alright, ease off the power. And down on the left hand a little bit. Head her on to 090 degrees for the moment. Get ourselves somewhat... oh, Jesus now. Get ourselves somewhat up and running. Now. Bit of tunage. We're feeling better about things. Oh yeah. That's very pretty. Keen Lafford is in the house. Good to see you, Keen. How good does this feather the engine? Yeah, pretty good, Tommy. Pretty good. I found an issue with flow. Man, look at that backdrop. Great skies, great flying, man. Don't look now, grey skies. But he has his head outside the plane looking down. Jesus. He's freaking out, man. Jesus. Who's in charge? Model matching. Take a bow. Zit, good to see you, bud. Looking to see the wing spar. Who's in charge? Ah, the classic oops, got the transform wrong. They got it very wrong. Very, very wrong. But anyway, what could you do? You know. Anyway, 5 days after Lodi, on May 15, 1796, Napoleon entered Milan in a heroic triumph. Welcomed as a liberator, his army, once ragged, was now armed, fed, and confident. Napoleon, aged 26, proclaimed, "We come to break your chains. Our only quarrel is with the tyrants who have enslaved you." He arrived as a liberator and ruled like a sovereign. He abolished feudal privilege, extracted enormous financial contributions, and established the Cisalpine Republic in Lombardy. A tip, of course, of the hat to the Romans. This nation building was a platform for his own power, forcing these new republics into alliances aligned with French policy. When Napoleon entered Milan, his relationship with the Directory changed. He was no longer just collecting plunder. He was acting as an independent head of state. He abolished feudal privileges, reorganized governments, installed sympathetic regimes. He moved borders and controlled diplomacy, while officially answering to the Directory. In reality, he was already operating as head of state. Italy taught Napoleon something vital. You do not need a crown if you can control armies, money, and momentum. Napoleon was equally focused on controlling his own image. He executing looting on an industrial scale, shipping priceless works of art to fill the Paris Musée Central des Arts, later becoming known as the Museum of Napoleon. And to this day, we now know it simply as the Louvre. He used a commission of scientists and artists, going straight for the A+ masterpiece quality works. I mean, it was known Napoleon, these guys literally ripped, priceless works of art off walls, literally off the walls that they were on, right? Absolutely mad stuff. Are we climbing? No. What's our speed like? We're good. Right, hang a right. Down to the right we go. We want a course here of, let me see, roughly 105 degrees. East is 90. There's 100. Call it 105. All right. Did you know that about the Louvre? It's mad, isn't it? So, this was, of course, propaganda, right? Pieces by Raphael and Titian came from Rome, Milan, and Venice. And the 4 bronze horse statues of St. Mark's Basilica came from Venice. Transporting these often meant cutting down or rolling up large works. Paris was declared the new aesthetic centre of the universe, the new Rome. Ooh. Darts by Unbelievables. That's right. Napoleon further managed his image by issuing medals and founding military journals, often penning articles himself, such as the one declaring, "Napoleon flies like lightning and strikes like thunder." He employed artists to document his heroics with significant artistic license, depicting himself on a magnificent white charger crossing the Alps when he literally travelled in a mule, right? So to get an idea of what's going on here, Napoleon... So it was a work of art. Where is this now? So to give you an idea, right? So Napoleon had this works done to say he was crossing the Alps. And what's important about this, if you draw your attention to the very bottom, what you can see that was etched into it, you'll see the name Hannibal. You'll see the name is a Karodic. These other famous, history remembers them as crossing the Alps. And then you have Bonaparte etched into it as well. I mean, the ego here, the ego was huge. And this was Napoleon. He understood how this worked. Remember, he spent so much time learning, researching everything from Alexander the Great, Caesar in Gaul, the Gallic Wars, right? Commentary, the Gallic Wars and all that. He knew the crack. He knew how to visualize everything. At a time or during a time, there was no radio, there was no TVs or internet. This was powerful stuff. And unless you were there, you couldn't deny it, really. You could question it, right? But this sort of stuff, depicting Napoleon as this some sort of a, righteous friggin' god almost. He was all for this. Yeah, brilliant. Keep down the stuff with the thing and the yoke. And some of the other drawings or sketches of Napoleon have been absolutely incredible. For example, where is it now? Napoleon portrait. When you look at some of these, if you see this picture, this comes a little bit later on. When you look at it, and if you were to compare that, for instance, to some of the old Roman pictures, right? The robes, the colours, the jewels, right? The oak leaves, the standard. These are all very close to... It's a mix between, Imperial Rome and Imperial France. He's managed to mix the two of them together. And that's pretty much how he saw himself, right? Which is, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah. Trust Murphy to press that button, Those women were in the nip. Right, come over here now, we have a look. Anyway, while staying in the sumptuous Palazzetto Cervelloni, Napoleon begged Joséphine to join him, pouring out his love and misery in daily letters. My only Joséphine, far from you there is no joy. You have robbed me of more than my soul. Well, she finally arrived, persuaded, of course, by Barras, but discreetly brought along her young cavalry lover, Hippolyte, I believe, Charles, right? She then cruelly informed Napoleon to say that she was pregnant. Napoleon was absolutely over the moon. However, this was a complete fabrication. He discovered her infidelity when he rushed back to Milan to find her gone. He wrote in despair, "Farewell, Joséphine. 1,000 daggers are tearing my heart asunder. Do not plunge them any deeper." And in a immature rage, he arranged for someone to poison her dog. So let's set the scene. Napoleon is head over heels of Joséphine. Head over heels. He's mad about Joséphine. She really couldn't give a rat's ass. I mean, yeah, she wants the power, she wants the money, but she's not interested. Not at all. She has a bit of a flair for this other officer guy, right? A young fella, blonde hair, bit like myself, what? Right. Roy, take it fair handy. Hammer Nails, good to see you, bud. He knew what he was doing. He did it very well too. Indeed, he did. But Joséphine had no interest there. Napoleon was just, well, I need him on my side because, he gives me all the money and stuff. That's right. That's where it was at, right? So poor owl Napoleon was heartbroken over this. So we now head to Mantua and the Treaty of Campo Formio in 1796 to 1797. Winning the opening battles was one thing, but holding victory against a relentless Austrian Empire was another. The entire campaign now boiled down to one objective: Mantua. A powerful fortress city, it was the key to controlling northern Italy. For 9 months, Napoleon laid siege while the Austrians launched 4 separate relief armies determined to break the French encirclement. 4 times the Austrians tried, and 4 times Napoleon shattered them, usually by marching faster than they could coordinate. At the Castiglione in August 1796, Napoleon broke their first attempt. At Arcole in November, he personally led his troops across a bridge under fire, a repeat of the Lodi bravado, but this time against a far more stubborn defence. These were brutal, desperate, close-quarter slugfests, not the clean surgical strikes of the campaign's opening. The final, decisive confrontation came at the Battle of Rivoli in January 1797. Napoleon, operating with his characteristic speed and brilliant deception, crushed the last major Austrian army sent to relieve the city in a bloody 3-day battle that resulted in some 20,000 deaths. Mantua finally surrendered on February 2nd, 1797. The French army could now carry the war into Austria itself, far exceeding Parisian expectations. With the Austrians finally broken in the field, Napoleon marched on Vienna itself, forcing them to the negotiating table. He revealed a new talent for diplomacy and statesmanship, conducting the peace negotiations himself. The result was the Treaty of Campo Formio in October 1797, and this treaty officially dissolved the First Coalition against France and, critically, confirmed France's control over northern Italy. Napoleon personally dictated the terms, signing the treaty not as a servant of the Directory, but as an independent force he had become. Under this treaty, France gained control of the Austrian Netherlands, Belgium, and the left bank of the Rhine. In Italy, Napoleon carved up the old order, establishing the Cisalpine Republic and other French satellite states. Republics that were politically loyal to Paris but deeply personally loyal to Bonaparte. The Directory was furious. Napoleon had ignored their instructions, but he was too popular, too successful, and now too rich to touch. The Italian campaign was over. Napoleon had secured an entire theatre of war, funded the Republic, and turned his army into an instrument of independent political power. Italy did 3 irreversible things to Napoleon. It proved his methods worked. It gave him personal loyalty from his soldiers, and it showed him that political authority follows military success. After Italy, he no longer waited for instructions. He negotiated directly with states. He reshaped Europe from the field. Italy wasn't the campaign, it was a rehearsal for empire. So, as we conclude part 4, let's take a tally. Well, he stared down the guillotine and saved the government. Napoleon, he went from being the hero of Toulon to being on the wrong side, ended up in jail, and then they pulled him out to save the government when he gave them the Whiff of Grapeshot in Paris. He secured Joséphine, the ultimate social bridge, marrying into influence only to be betrayed. He invented modern military warfare, mobile warfare, turning a starving army into a self-funding machine of conquest and cultural plunder. The nickname The Little Corporal is born at Lodi, and he successfully created a powerful cult of personality. He concluded the Italian War, and with the Treaty of Campo Formio, cementing his status as Europe's foremost general and diplomat. And of course, the riches, the plunder, the booty of taking in all the works of art, bringing them back to Paris to put them into Napoleon's museum, later, of course, we know today as the Louvre. The path to emperor had been forged. Napoleon returned to Paris aged 28. He adopted the attitude of obeying only the orders he wanted to obey. Dismissing his achievements as nothing, he declared. I am only at the beginning of the course I must run. I can no longer obey. I have tasted command and I cannot give it up. With the continent pacified, Napoleon turns his gaze to the only enemy left standing, the British Empire. To strike them, he must strike at their wealth and their imperial lifeline. Napoleon is indispensable to France. Joséphine is anchored at the centre of power, but compromised, and the Directory is increasingly afraid of its own general. Europe is beginning to pay attention. He is no longer reacting to history, he is now bending it. Next time, in part 5, the European war will be temporarily shelved. With Britain still standing defiant, Napoleon turns his gaze to the east, to the ancient strategic prize of Egypt. Ooh! We're going to Egypt next week. Brilliant. Now, consider yourselves up to date. How do you connect your iPad to the EFB? How do I connect my iPad to the EFB? I'm using Garmin Pilot running on it. That's how she works. And then I'm using flight events to mix them all together. Flying Trits, good to see you. It's a fascinating story, isn't it? It really is. Like, it's just like so much. And like, you know, I'm a fan of history, so like you're always going to go over history of, well, everything. But when you see it repeat itself, especially the type of warfare, that mobile military warfare Napoleon has brought in, the likes of which has not been seen since Caesar, the Gallic Wars. That speed, you know, and even before Caesar, you had Marius. They were nicknamed Marius's mules. The idea being that, hang on, these soldiers don't need miles and miles of supply lines and trades and, you know, donkeys and all this jazz. Doesn't need it. They're fighting ready. They'll carry their kit on themselves and they'll keep moving forward. Speed. Lightning speed. Go forward 100 and odd years, we'll all know Europe once again will be introduced into this lightning warfare. It's amazing how history has this habit of constantly repeating itself. Nuts. It's so fascinating. Gibbo has been knocked sideways. He's now unconscious. Brilliant. It's mad, but like when you think of Napoleon and all of this stuff, you know. Voicey, absolutely. Alexander the Great's Macedonians also lightning fast. That's what they did. It was the speed. It was the speed. And you see that time and time again throughout history. It's fascinating stuff. Hermit says, I'm just wondering how much studying you do to prepare for these lessons as well as trying to fly. A ridiculous amount. A ridiculous amount. I'm months working on this. Like, I'm up to... I don't know. I've 100 and what was it? I've 110,000 words as of this morning, and that's like 186 pages. But like the sources I have, like we've books now. Mrs. Two-Tone is great. There's books upon books, and she'll just like recite paragraphs, and then it's, oh yeah, no, and I'll go off and learn. Do you know? But like even you could easily do Napoleon over like 50 episodes on a live stream because he did so much. This is tailored to 10. There's some stuff we're not really going to do, and we'll use little bridges every couple of weeks to kind of catch up on where we need to be at, right? But like I did the same with the Gallic Wars, did the same at Hannibal crossing the Alps. You know, I'm working on other stuff as well. Like I've started the Irish history stuff, and I'm just blown away by that. Because even with the Irish history stuff, I have the chance to actually get out and visit these places. Do you know? This is just your outlet for what you've worked on all your life. Yeah. Brilliant. Not at all, MacManster. Thank you very much. It's a passion. I'm into this stuff. It's weird, isn't it? I'd bored the bejesus out of you at dinner time over the glass of wine, you know. But I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. And like, it's for this, for the flight sim, it's such a great. It's going to sound terrible bad, but it is a great vehicle in which you can kind of jump on and learn stuff, because you have this twin world. I mean, we're literally going to fly over Mantua now, the last big battle of Italy. And when you're looking out the window going, hey, it was right there. Jesus. And you can see the scenery. I mean, you can see that landscape. That's what they saw. That is what they saw. I mean, after all of this, he spent some time up just outside of Lake Garda. That's where we're going. We're going to Verona, right? It's pretty cool. Could talk history for hours, absolutely. I would love to hear the Irish history. Yeah, Rick, there's... again, it's trying to squeeze it into something workable. So the Irish history, we wrote all the history. We invented history. There's quite a bit. Pre the Vikings, then through the Middle Ages, then through, put it this way, we're talking about 1797, where, at the moment, we're with Napoleon in 1797. In 1798, in Ireland, revolution is happening all over the place. Theobald Wolfe-Tone, Father Murphy, they're causing absolute ruptions here, fighting against the English. They're inviting the Spanish, they're inviting the French, they're even inviting the Germans over to help them quell and push the English out. And the French do help, as do the Spanish, And then later on in life, you go into the 1910 to 1914. Then, of course, we have the 1916 rising into the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, right up to the modern day in Ireland, and how everything kind of funnels its way back. You don't want to focus too much on the political upheaval, right? We learn about this stuff, not to say, come here, you, want to box the head off you. We learn about it to be informed and to understand why there are, different groups, or why there are perhaps strong feelings if certain symbology is used. And it's to understand. There's no agenda. There shouldn't be an agenda with history. You want to learn it to understand what goes on. Do you know what I mean? When you're here in New Zealand, I can talk you through the Maori Wars. I'd love to hear that, Olympics. Yeah. Brutal and interesting. Yeah, I've heard a little bit already. It's class, man. Great stuff. Bellrow, cheers, buddy. Lake Garda is such an interesting place. It has its own local meteorological system due to being on the edge of the Alps. You sail there and you can almost set your clock based on how the wind shifts. No way! I enjoyed a book called Prisoners of Geography, which discussed geopolitics and how the lay of the land aided and hindered cultures. Ooh. Voicey, interesting, dude. Stevie B, your hospital bed, what happened to you, bud? Welcome in. Isn't it wonderful flying over these areas that are alive with history? It's like a simple flight over the Euphrates and Tigris River. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know, I wasn't particularly good in the history at school. I was interested in it, but the freaking syllabus, they taught, it was all it was the Renaissance and whatnot, but it was I didn't like that the whole procedure of school. No, stop at this line, that's all you need to learn. And I didn't like that, because you want to learn more. So whoa, pull up the handbrake. What happened next? Tune in next week. There was none of that, and especially in Irish schools, they'll do snippets of a bit of everything. They don't really specialise in any particular area, which is, I imagine, it's the same at any school, right? But Roman history, definitely. Napoleonic history is quite new to me, because I've spent some time studying them, learning. I've watched documentaries, I've listened to podcasts, I've read. I've got a lot of saturation of it. But you try and take on as much information as you can, so you can kind of replicate it a little bit. Not for a second, do I think I'm in a position that you must listen now because I know this. I am not an expert in this field at all. Same with the Roman stuff, at all. I'm just interested in it, and I like to share that because I think it's kind of cool that you can do that with flight sims. What other platform could you do this, traveling around the globe with your pals, all flying interesting aircraft, keeping the relatives of aviation, right? I mean, we're flying, we're navigating, we're managing power, speed and energy, altitude, fuel, You know what I mean? We're also learning a little bit about the aviation installations. Like, for example, back over at, what was it called? Brozzo, was it? Or Brezzo? Lima India Mike Bravo, one of Italy's oldest airfields, built in 1912. I mean, you can combine all this cool stuff together. It's class, man. Prisoners of Geography is 99p. Ooh, on Kindle. Nice. History was learning names and dates. Would have been great to have been or seen the bigger picture. Yeah, 100%, Belbro. 100%. Every country thrives on its own unique history. Absolutely. Absolutely. Every country. Every country. Like Europe, it's dated because, you know, there's history here going all the way back. And it's gas, like, you know, there was works of art that should never been removed or touched that Napoleon took, that ended up, be it in the Louvre and they're, you know, they're in the British museums. When they were created, they were supposed to stay there forever, and then this guy comes along. At the same time, it's only because of Napoleon that we are aware of these, or we get, you know, we've now seen them. It was said that Napoleon had, wasn't it Napoleon, and then later, wasn't it the, hang on, I don't think El Duce had it. What? So Napoleon had a personal connection with the Mona Lisa. He had it moved from the Louvre to his private bedroom in the palace for about 4 years, where he admired it as Madame Lisa before he brought it back to the Louvre. So the Mona Lisa, I don't know if any of you guys got the chance to see the Mona Lisa. I'm sure you've seen the picture of it, right? El Mona, right? I've seen the Mona Lisa. Never knew that Napoleon said, I'll have that, took it out of his own museum and put it in his bedroom. That's just like, what? So here is Mantua. We're flying over it right now. Look at this. Man, you gotta love the scenery here. Admired it, yeah. Absolutely class. Careful now. Dirty bee. Man, I'm loving the scenery. Isn't it gorgeous? You on, Italy. Man, look at the detail on the plane. Newfoundland. Fine prawn, yeah, it's running smooth, bud. What a machine. Keen Lefford, you're going back to Italy. Lake Garda, beautiful man. It's just ahead of us. There she be. That'd be Lake Garda dead ahead. Well, not dead ahead. Over the plain there. It's a region of Italy I haven't got out to. I want to go to Rome at some point. I have a busy year next year. I don't think I'll get Rome in. But who knows? Who knows? Italy's great, man. The history is unbelievably good. Right, we need to turn right. Over we go. So let's head up to fair Verona. Isn't it gorgeous? Man, this plane is so good. Jeez, what's that now? Interesting. One leg Garda, two legs in Gardaí. Patrick. It's just so cool the way you go exploring places. Like, you gotta love the sim for that, man. Especially 2024 because, I mean, we're looking down there, the detail in the fields, look. Crops and everything, like, it's just nuts. Lake Garda Síochána, yeah. Now that's not our airport, we're the next one up. So next week we visit Egypt. We go to Cairo. And we've been to Egypt a couple of times. Have we done it in 24? I think we have. But that's what we're headed for next week. In the Cows DA40. Ooh. Bit of a right turn. So tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock, we're going to be flying in X-Plane 12. We're taking up a new very light jet from V-Sky Labs. We're going to be flying out of Maastricht. We're checking out PH Roy's scenery there. And then tomorrow night, of course, we're joining the Microsoft Flight Sim official Twitch channel. That's going to be a barrel of laughs. And I'm not going to do well at all. Brilliant. So here's it here, look. This is our stream plan for the week. So tonight, part 4, Italy. That's what we're doing here. Tomorrow night, we have the Creator Challenge, where Grizzle, Ultrasaurus, Avangel, Jeff Faviano, Chewy and CD, and myself will attempt to do some flyage. Avangel and Grizzle. Well, Grizzle does racing anyway. Avangel, she's going to be fierce handy at that. Ultrasaurus, unsure. I was watching a bit of her stream earlier on. Very chilled out. It's actually very cool. Jeff, I hope Jeff doesn't practice at all. Right? I mean, I want to be close to someone being in last. You know, I'll be in last. So yeah, we're doing that tomorrow night. Wednesday night, of course, we're bringing the news. Thursday daytime, we continue on with our Navigraph flight training as we continue to work on until we eventually complete our virtual PPL. It is the taking part muse. And then on Thursday night, we have Mission North, Cargo for Claws. For Firefly Airs, we fly on VATSIM. Looking forward to that one. Then on Friday, our final flight with the on-air Christmas challenge. We're flying up through Norway into Finland. Cannot wait. We're going to be taking out the Baron for that one. So we have a busy week of flying ahead of us, lads. And then I'll look at the schedule next week. Of course, we'll have a stream on next Monday night. We'll be streaming on Tuesday, the 23rd. Wednesday, not sure yet what's happening. Thursday, no stream. And then we'll have a stream next Friday night on Boxing Day or St. Stephen's Day. And we'll see what the crack is all about then. You know, it's the first year I'm not working for the man, if you like. As in, you know, this is the day job. You know? So it'll be interesting for sure. Interesting for sure. Because usually this time of year, I'm so busy. Like, I used to be, I'm still busy, but like Jesus, when I was working in logistics, this is just like, this is mad time of the year, you know? It's kind of funny how that worked out. I've replaced what I'm usually busy with home improvements. But thankfully, it's almost pretty much done now. For at least, you know, until after Christmas. And then we do the hall, and then we have to do upstairs. But, and then, like, you know, April or March or February, I need to tackle the garden. Oh, Jesus. I have to tackle the garden, lads. That's not cool at all. Right. Let us position ourselves to land. Autopilot coming off. Did you do the kitchen? Yeah, pretty much. We gave the kitchen a makeover. So I've ordered blinds. They won't be here till the end of January. So yeah, I need to wait. Need to wait a little bit until we get our blinds, and then the kitchen's pretty much done. Need a new kitchen table. I sort of drilled holes into the current kitchen table when I was doing the presses, because I'm a total muppet. And there's now several holes. They're only small, but I need to replace the kitchen table. In fear of, you know, death. Or will the garden tackle you? Probably. So you're building a house from the inside out. Well, I mean, we've rented here for some time. You know, we bought it last year. So we're making it ours now. You know what I mean? Get someone to do the garden for you, probably. Stu, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're well. There's only one thing worse than doing the back garden. That's the front garden. Yes, well, thankfully our front garden is quite small. But yes, the back garden, I have a lot of work to do out there, man. I took the deckings out of it, and yeah, I need to do, it needs serious work. Cyrus, good evening to you, buddy. Hope you're well. Can you get gardening gloves that small? Thank goodness for the... Shag off! Thank God... Thank goodness for blinds. If it wasn't for blinds, it'd be curtains for all of us, right? Airspace, thank you very much indeed. I need to try and land here, you know. I'm just saying, you know, this is an important part of the flight. Yeah, Scott, we've been busy, man. Also, Scott, where did you book for Minneapolis? You can let us know in a DM, maybe. Because I don't know where the story is. The Hampton. Ah, right across the street. Okay. Muse, are you going to Expo? And Adam Controls, are you going to Expo? Easy now. Gear is down. Muse wouldn't like it. There's probably no bar. Is there no bar? Ah, surely there's a bar. Alright, Murphy. Gently does it now, you big idiot. Easy. 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 242.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Ha Stu! I got down just before you shagged it. Easy now. You see, I can fly from Dublin. But then I have to go to Dublin, or I can fly from Shannon. If I fly from Shannon, there's a one stop in Chicago. So instead of like being 8.5 hours transit, it's only 10 hours. If flights are at the right price, maybe an Airbnb. So looking at flights at the minute, Muse, they're about $1,000 each. And then accommodation will probably be 500. I booked a motel 6 months ago with no penalties if I cancelled. Ah. Not a full service hotel. They just do breakfast in the mornings, no restaurant. However, it could be cheaper. Bring your own booze. Yep. And Scott, you're flying up, I imagine. I mean, you're not going to drive to freaking Minnesota, right? Or to Minneapolis. Or St. Paul's. I mean, if I said, Scott, listen, we'll drive. I'll fly to Texas, and sure, the two of us will drive. You'll let me out of the car somewhere north of Texas. Get out, Murphy. Right? You know. 2 days worth. You probably are going to drive. What? Really? Jeez, this is a lovely little airport. Look at this. Easy now. Motel 6 aren't the best of quality. Cheap and cheerful. You literally just need someone to put your head down. Over the OK border and kicked out. That'd be me. That'd be 100% me. You know. Yes, come on, Murph. This would be a great idea. And then 10 minutes into the flight, or into the drive, get out, Murphy. Sorry. You know. Right, now, what are we doing here? Let's power off this machine. Right side coming down. Left coming down. Alright. There's great sounds in this, isn't there? 3 hours in the air versus 3 hours in the air versus 2.5 days on the ground. Yeah. Probably going to drive. I mean, that's a drive. Lads, that was a gorgeous flight. Despite the CTD that we had, I mean, the sim definitely regained. I don't know what it was. Maybe it just didn't load in the way it should have. Having the basic multiplayer models seems to have fixed an awful lot of performance issues. I will say that. I mean, I'm getting good performance here. 120 frames, that's where it should be at with a freaking 5090, right? And okay, I don't know what Angels 1.5 is flying, but at least they're not loading in mad stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how we go. The important thing for me is I get to see folks flying. The bonus, of course, is seeing correctly what they're flying. But even aircraft that are close enough, you know, I'd be happy enough with that. Is that tarnishing a starship, is it? You know. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what we find out. But yeah, so Flight Sim Expo stuff. You're showing as a Fuga for me, although I don't have the 406. Ah, fair enough. And are you using the high fidelity model matching Muse? Because there are a couple of Fugas here on the ground. You know. Look at the state of the scenery. Look. Jesus. What a beautiful place to fly. Isn't it stunning? Okay, so I know what happened with JoinFS. The server decided to kick me out, you know. That's Stalker, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, bud. Right, lads, we're going to leave it there. I want to thank you all so very, very much indeed for keeping me company tonight and putting up with all me talking. Endless talking and rabbiting on about Napoleon, but I hope you enjoyed it. And we're back tomorrow at 11 o'clock Zulu time. We're going to be flying over an X-plane tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow night at the earlier time of 1900 Zulu over on the Microsoft Flight Sim official Twitch channel. We're not streaming it from here. We're joining our good friends over at the MSFS official channel from 1900. Come on in and remember our motto. It's the taking part. Right? And we can ridicule everyone else until we lose. And then we'll just say, but it was the taking part. Yeah, it was the taking part. So that's what it's going to be all about. So thank you all so very, very much indeed for tuning in. And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow at 1100 Zulu time for some more flyage. Until then, you take care. To turn, and we'll start advancing that mixture back in here now shortly. Come on, prop.
Sink rate.
You're all right.
Sink rate. Up. Sink rate.
Give us a bit of air in the nose there. Nearly. Come on, Betsy, you can do it. We need the wind. Oh, bother. We need more speed. This isn't dangerous at all. 110, 120. Mixture in. The mixture's in. Come on. She doesn't want to play. She nearly got there. Hang on now. Easy. There she goes. Jesus. If it didn't kick off, lads, I would have died immediately. For a warbird, it's one of the finest warbirds ever released in Microsoft Flight Simulator, considering you have the excellent work of Flying Iron. This thing, because of the extra features, because of the optimization, because of how well it looks and sounds, even flying this thing gives you an experience you probably haven't got already in the sim when it comes to flying a warbird. It feels heavy. It feels cumbersome. It behaves differently. And there's a lot of depth to it. It's a cracker. It's a masterpiece. Oh, I never did the thing, look. It's usually the best way to do things. You know what I mean?